New way to acquire a foreign language. When we study foreign language, we study and traditionally and learn vocabulary and study grammar and patterns, and we try to get understand the reading comprehension. So, and this way is a true traditional way, but sometimes this way we don't have to learn about some vocabulary because after studying all the vocabulary, something to know about it, and we forget or we don't use the contents. So, and then Mr. Jeff, and then he talk about, and then he mentioned about acquisition rather than traditional learning. And then he emphasized how to study consciously and then subconsciously, and he can explain, and we can study um, acquisition. In acquisition, uh, we can acquire to get information or vocabulary in learning languages. So, and then this way is takes time, but we like studying, and then we don't have to get stressed, and we are familiar with some words and expression, and after then we can get used to the words and expression. Then we understand about that pattern of this. And I agree with him. And because mm, learning a foreign language is a very interactive way, and also when when we use the foreign language in many ways, and then we can acquire easily, and also we improve the languages in many patterns from pronunciation or vocabulary. If we say about one topic and or writing about one topic, to express the content, we should know about many vocabulary, many words to express that. Then and we figure out we need some words, and we try to do and understand that part of the topic of content. Then and also while we're doing enjoying enjoying we are we are learning our language by uh, watching TV, watching drama, listening to music, and then communicate with the language partners in doing online language exchange. There are many ways to acquire our target language, or traveling, or living a period of time, or some the purpose to learn the foreign language and then go abroad and then communicate with people, attending some uh, real course of in language. There are many ways anyway. So in my case, I study vocabulary in Vietnamese, and then by reading subtitle of YouTube videos. Since I started learning Vietnamese, I realized that I watched YouTube videos a lot. And then for almost um, 15, um, 15 months, 15 months, I have read the subtitle of YouTube videos whenever I watch it, videos. By doing that, I can got familiar with some words in Vietnamese. And then and first time it was difficult to read it word by word, and then I cannot. I could not catch up with the speed of the subtitle. But uh, while I'm keeping doing reading, and then I learn about some words and then phrases, and then I can understand about some sentences. When I watch the video in Korean, English, and Vietnamese, there are case a little different, but I studied with my language partner, and then I studied some vocabulary uh, that helped me to understand them when I read the subtitle of YouTube videos. And then and then I keep doing that, and now uh, I I understand a little bit, maybe 50 or 60% of subtitle I can understand. Also, I can catch up with the speed of subtitles. Um, maybe when I keep reading subtitle in 1 or 2 years, uh, I can um, understand totally the subtitle. That means that I have a building vocabulary subconsciously, because I don't try to memorize the vocabulary, mm, Vietnamese vocabulary. Just I trying to communicate with my language partner doing online language exchange, and also just only read the subtitle of YouTube videos. That is all I do, and then I can improve some the Vietnamese vocabulary and then expression. This way is mentioned about by uh, Dr. Jeff, and then he totally uh, talk about acquire a position to learn foreign languages. And I follow him. That's a good idea. Doing online language exchange with the language partners is also one of the way. It's not the traditional way, because we are interactively studying with each other, and then enjoying and then knowing uh, each other. And then even though the levels are different sometimes, we can have, because we have a power to use our mother tongue. Then that is the key point in this. Now I go for this a little different. I review it, and then I go with this contents, same pattern, copy. Uh, don't have to that only the make contents. Um, after um, proofreading with okay, something long, uh, make make content of learning server on the history ready to leading with this. Okay. New ways to acquire foreign language subconsciously. When we study foreign languages, we traditionally focus on memorizing vocabulary, studying grammar and sentence pattern, and trying to understand text through reading comprehension. While this traditional approach is widely used, it has some drawbacks. Often we learn vocabulary that we later forget or never use in real life conversations. This can make language learning feel tedious and ineffective. Dr. Jeff has introduced an alternative approach to language learning. He emphasizes the importance of acquiring language naturally and unconsciously rather than through the forced memorization. His method focuses on language acquisition rather than direct study, allowing learners to observe vocabulary and grammar organically over time. While this approach takes longer, it reduces and stress and helps learners become more familiar with the words and expression naturally. Eventually, learners can use these elements and develop an intuitive understanding of language patterns. I agree with Dr. Jeff's perspective because learning a language should be interactive, using the target language in various contexts to help us acquire it more easily. When we discuss or write about a topic, we naturally encounter new vocabulary and expressions. This process helps us internalize the language rather than just memorizing isolated words. We also improve our pronunciation, grammar, and French in a more engaging and effective way. There are many ways to acquire foreign languages subconsciously, such as watching TV shows, drama, and listening to music in the target language. Engaging in a conversation with language partners through online language exchange is another effective method. Traveling while living in the countries where the language is spoken also provide immersive learning experience. Additionally, attending real-life language courses or using interactive learning platform can significantly enhance our acquisition process. In my case, I've been learning Vietnamese by reading YouTube subtitles. Since I started studying Vietnamese, I have watched a lot of YouTube videos with subtitles. Initially, it was difficult to follow them, but over time, by constantly reading and recognizing patterns, and then I gradually learned new words and phrases. Now, after about 15 months, I can understand approximately 50 to 6% of the subtitles and follow the speed of spoken Vietnamese more easily. I believe that if I continue this practice for another year or two, I will be able to understand subtitles fully. Additionally, I actively use my newly acquired vocabulary in online language exchanges with my language partners to reinforce my learning through conversation. Dr. Jeff's approach aligns with my own experience. His emphasis on acquiring a language through natural and exposure exposure and interactive learning makes sense. An online language exchange, daily conversation, and active engagement with real-life content are powerful ways to improve language skills, even when language levels between partners differ. And the key is to enjoy the learning process and interact meaningfully. The more we immerse ourselves in the language, the more effectively we acquire it. Okay, okie dokie.